Welcome to the Christian Contractor Podcast.
Christian Contractor Podcast.
A show created for kingdom-driven Christian contractors that are focused on scaling their business in God's name while positively impacting the world around them. If you're ready to ascend from a contractor to a purpose-driven business owner, we're here to serve you. Here's your host, Brandon Guthrie.
How to grow your business using the lost art of doing good work. What's up? I'm Brandon Guthrie with Dream Design Labs here on the Christian Contractor Podcast, where our mission is to help Christian contractors turn their business into their ministry and scale it in the name of God with biblical principles and righteous marketing so that they can be a light in the darkness. Marketing doesn't have to be hard. You just need the right tools and the right heart to serve. Thanks for tuning in. I'm super excited to have Jay Elmer of LMC General Contractors with me today. Jay, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Brandon. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so good. Super excited. Some big time experience in the industry. You're doing big things. There's so many people that are tuning in, listening, that want to get to the level that you're at, and they just want, if they could just glean some insights, some secrets, some tips, some hacks that are going to be actionable that they can apply into their life and in their business, they're going to be super pumped. So before we jump into the secret sauce that you're going to reveal, give us your story. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you got here.
Well, my name's Jay Elmer. I've been in the construction industry my entire life. I grew up building piers, jetties, bulkheads, did lot clearing. It was really fun as a kid running around with real Tonka trucks, baby. I mean, that was cool.
Nice.
I got into the insurance restoration business, I don't know, 2010 or so. I'd had no idea what insurance restoration was. So for those of you who don't know, all it is when hailstorms, windstorms, natural events damage buildings, you work on behalf of the property owner to indemnify that client, bring back to pre-loss condition. We got to put it back the way it is because, well, I mean, that's why you pay insurance.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. So after that, we were doing just residential. Then through some unfortunate circumstances with a business partner, we had to think bigger. So, well, we got to do bigger jobs. I mean, and it's not, we never thought about it, and it forced us to grow. So then we started doing small commercial, medium-sized commercial, and then we got into projects where a small one was $500,000 to the biggest one was $17 million for one single loss.
Wow.
And it was
Jeez.
eye-opening.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, people hear that like, what? Like, how do I land something like that, right? You know, we're all kind of wondering, right? So, but I'll let you finish your story.
Well, I mean, and now we, from that, getting back to that $17 million loss, we were only in Virginia at that point, and I get a call from Mulehide, and they're like, your name keeps coming up as far as the person to talk to about this building that we have in South Carolina. And I said, let me stop you right there. I'm only licensed in Virginia. I'm not interested in going anywhere else but Virginia. Mm-hmm. And Jim Lessing from Mulehide says, well, Jason, thank you. I would like to let you know that the building is 500,000 square feet. And I said, I'll be there in 3 days. Mama didn't raise no fool. And that's how we branched off. And I'm thinking, at that point, the mindset changed. And it's like, what about Ohio? What about the Carolinas, Georgia? We've done work in Virginia, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, and Ohio. And
wow.
It grew. And that's where we are today.
Wow. Crazy. So you had that shift, and that one thing that happened, it shifted your mindset. And you're like, oh my gosh, it opened your eyes. And you're like, oh, I could think bigger. And so many times
Exactly.
we just hear about that. It's like just thinking bigger, and it's like just unlocking the belief. And like I've been to conferences and met Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, and gonna have the chance. I'm super lucky and blessed to be able to meet Damon John next week. Super excited. And it's like the number one thing that meeting those types of people does for you is it just unlocks your potential. It opens your eyes to like thinking much bigger. And it's literally that's like the first step to be able to get into that, is just think bigger, just like you're saying in your life.
You
in
have
your
to
situation.
step out of your comfort zone, because if you stay within your comfort zone, you become complacent. And I've told a lot of my guys that have come through, and I've told a lot of other people that have been in my industry, and they ask the same thing: how did you do this? And I use the analogy of, look, if I'm just as good as you at playing basketball, and I play you one-on-one every day, and then I go and I play Michael Jordan for a month every day one-on-one in his prime, I'm going to get the living crap kicked out of me. But now I'm going to come back and play you, and I'm going to stomp you.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a good
step
analogy.
out of that box.
I love that. Wow. That's huge. So you guys listening in right now, we got to think bigger. Let's think bigger. Let's get out of our comfort zone. We know without a vision the people shall perish, right? So Proverbs 28, wait for it, 28:13. Proverbs 28:13, without a vision the people shall perish. And dude, so that's where you got to have that purpose, that mission, that vision that's big. And you're going to be uncomfortable, but that's the point, is you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So
you have to be. It's just like a lobster. When they shed their shell. They go because their body's growing, and they got to get rid of that shell, and only through it's a Chinese proverb, because it makes the lobster very uncomfortable, and it forces him to grow. And the other thing I can tell folks out there, just having a vision and a dream is not enough. You see where you want to go, then you have to have goals. Because dreams without goals are just what they are, dreams.
Just dreams.
And you can't, if you're not looking ahead, or I tell my guys downfield, we use a lot of sports analogies. When people get in a slump, I'm like, how am I going to see you wide open in the end zone when I'm looking at my shoelaces and you're wide open that way? I can't see you. You have to look ahead.
Yeah. Wow. That's so powerful. So powerful. Okay, so we're going to jump into our 3 questions we're going to be hitting you with today, Jay. So question number 1 is, what is your greatest advice out of everything you've been through to people that want to be at your level?
Well, we've already kind of touched on it. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and it's not for folks that are looking for the one quick thing to get them from here to here. There is no such thing. Know that. It's going to be long. It's going to be rough. And it's not for the squeamish or the faint of heart. You have to be willing to take the hits. You're going to have to be willing to go through it. And you're going to have to be willing to understand that there is something much more bigger than you guiding this, and you're going to have to trust in that. And my advice to y'all is talk to the man upstairs. He kind of knows what he's doing a little bit. He's been doing it for kind of a long time. And believe in miracles and work your butt off.
Wow. So it's kind of,
because they do happen. I'm walking, talking proof.
That's 100%. It's like people think that there's these get rich quick schemes and overnight successes, and it's just about putting in the work and not giving up and being tenacious and having that vision, setting those goals, and
be consistent.
and that's it. So that's why this title is the lost art of doing good work is just continuously be honorable and respectful, do good work, and stick through it. You're gonna get punched in the teeth, but you just get back up. And there's a proverb about getting knocked down 7, and the righteous man will get up again after that. And so just keep it going, and just never give up.
Be consistent with who you are in your work. You don't want to do this great job this time and then do this, and that produces a business model that you have really highs and then really lows. What you want to be looking like is a steady heartbeat like this. That's what you want to do, and you want to do it the same way every day, all day, as far as your methodology. Because you start, oh well, this customer's different than that customer. I'm going to kind of tweak this over here. Next thing you know, man, just like in golf or baseball, your swing's all out of whack. You go back to the basics.
Yes.
Foundation strong, just like a house, so will your business.
So consistency, that's a tough thing, because when no one's looking, you got to have that discipline, right? When no one's looking, you need to make the decision sometimes to do the hard work and go the extra mile to provide someone that you maybe, oh, this client's a smaller client, maybe I can cut some corners here. It's like, no, you're talking about your reputation and the way that you deliver your work. And I think a lot of people out there don't have that discipline, right? And they just kind of do this, they do that. They're all kind of all over the place. But maybe if you're focusing on yourself and your reputation first, and you're consistent, and you do quality work, and you have a vision, and you have goals, and you don't give up, then even through the tough times, people see you carrying your cross and, getting your work done, even though it's tough. And people are going to see that, and they're going to notice that after time, right?
Once you build that reputation and being consistent, just like you said, and even when you don't think anybody's watching.
Yeah.
Somebody is.
Yeah.
And I can promise you that. And when the times get tough, you know what? People are going to go, they are going to flock to the person or the entity that has the consistent reputation. And once you've established that with your new business, no matter what it is, you defend that ferociously. And I'm not talking about doing anything nefarious or anything, but you go out of your way to defend your reputation, because it's going to take you years to build it, and it's going to take seconds to destroy it if you're not careful.
And that reminds me of that person reached out to you because I keep hearing your name coming up. So, what did you do to defend that reputation, to build it up? What would you say was your course there?
Well, so I went out on my own in 2012, and we're knocking on the doors. The storms come in. We know where they are because we use the knocking on the door. And I'll never forget his name. His name is Commander Steven Jansen. He was an A6 intruder navigator for the Navy. And he says to me, look, kid, we have USAA. We've been through a big hailstorm back in '99. This whole neighborhood was in a class action lawsuit because we all had the same insurance carrier. We got some big time attorney from DC. Nothing happened. But if you're telling me that if you take my claim on, I don't have to pay you anything, and if you lose, I don't owe you anything, and if you win, you do it for exactly what the insurance carrier pays, hell, I'll sign. What do I got to lose? Exactly. So fast forward a week or two later, insurance company comes out. The damage was on the roof, the gutters, the siding, the metal bay window. We didn't miss a thing. This guy's jaw was on the floor.
Wow.
I made it home that night from the field probably by about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And had a call from the commander thanking me. And he, the next day, about 7 o'clock in the morning, that phone blew up. Every single person in that neighborhood that was part of that class action lawsuit was on the phone.
Wow.
And I'm going, all right. Well,
Funny how that
don't think we'll
works.
be going back to Florida anytime soon.
Right,
And
right.
then that's when your business starts growing. Those of you guys in the roofing and siding, you guys know what I'm talking about. The distributors, and you're buying from your distributor. Well, the people, your GAFs, your Owens, your Tamcos, whatever product it is you're using, they're going to notice. They started noticing a spike. And we were at the roofing center. Billy Coughlin was the general manager rep that I dealt with, and a guy named Paul Dezertsky from GAF apparently goes to Billy and he says, "Billy, I'm noticing there's a spike in GAF sales. What's going on here?
Some network issues.
What companies or who did you sign up?" And he goes, "Well, it's only one." And then I get a call from Paul Dezertsky from GAF once we were certified. He goes, "You're not going to believe this." And I'm like, "Okay, let me guess another price increase." And he started laughing. He goes, "No." He goes, "GAF is very impressed with your work and from what they've seen. They're flying, as long as you're okay with it, they want to come down to Ashburn, Virginia. They want to take a professional film crew and the executive director of all residential roofing sales by the name of Emily Vedetto, and they want to film one of your installs. And they want to showcase you." And he goes, "You'll be the only contractor in the entire world on the largest roofing manufacturing material in the world. How to choose a roofing contractor."
Wow, crazy. What an
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. The camera does add 10 pounds, y'all. I'm just saying.
Nice. Oh wow. So you started doing good work, and the whole next thing you know, the whole neighborhood was calling you, and then you got recommended and reputation certifications, and next thing you know, people are reaching out to you. And what would you say would be what maybe majority of people do compared to what you would recommend they do?
That's a great question. Most people buy into this snake oil. My way of advertising's the only way to go. I like to fish, okay? And when I'm trolling out there in the Chesapeake Bay, or if I'm out in the Gulf or out in the Atlantic, and I'm using, when we're going after mackerel, we're going after rockfish. Y'all call them striped bass probably out there. But mahi, whatever it is. Man, when I'm going out there, I have a buffet. I have artificial bait. I have squid. I have pinfish, whatever. I want to know what they're biting on that day. So I'm casting a big net. The bigger net you cast, the more people you come in contact with, okay, the more you're going to retain. And we would do door knocking. Nobody really, I've only met maybe one or two people that have enjoyed knocking on a door. But hey, look, it works.
Oh yeah.
If you run into a roadblock where you can't door knock, there's Facebook advertising. You get somebody that specializes in your business and ask them for referrals. Don't just give somebody thousands of dollars because they're the new Facebook, TikTok guru out there, okay? I can go online right now and make myself a guru as far as advertising, which I assure you I am not. Also, direct door mailers. We use a company called Premier Printing out of Maryland, and what it is, they have postcards, right? And when I want to target a certain neighborhood, I go on to the U.S. Postal Service Every Door Direct, and I write down the exact postal routes that I want, whether I want all residential and I want commercial, or for this one I just want all residential or just commercial, whatever, and they mail these out. And you do that when you have the door knocking. You're up and they're seeing you. They see your shirt. Hey, that's the guy over here. They're getting the mailers. You're doing the geo targeting. So it's a process, guys.
Wow.
And
Okay.
when somebody shoots you down, or remember, most sales happen after the fifth time.
Right. Right.
And don't slam your clipboard down on the ground and say life's not fair and God doesn't like me because Agnes Smith won't sign up with me today.
Yep.
You guys, you gotta be cooler than that. You gotta be better than that, and you gotta want it
Nice.
better than the other guy.
So what would you say, and those are great, and we'll jump into some specific tactics here in 1 second. Just to close out on the reputation side, I'm curious, just like what are let's say people that are kind of just getting started, or people that are doing it wrong reputation wise, like what are they doing wrong reputation wise that they need to change right now and then stick to it for another 5-10 years? Like, what do you know what that might be, what they're kind of doing wrong, maybe reputation wise?
Could be a lot of things. And most common, when you show up at somebody's house, okay? If you're a contractor, and I've seen this, don't show up in some fancy car. Don't do it. I don't run appointments in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny. Do people do that? Some people do that, huh? Yeah, it's like, dude, and it's a big mistake.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean,
Jeez.
guys, I would ball you up and punch you off of my front porch if you came in here trying to sell me something construction wise in a BMW, a Porsche, a Ferrari, a Maserati, an Aston Martin. Get out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
Get out of
That's a
here. You're
great tip.
garbage. Go.
Ah,
Look like a contractor. Play the part for whatever it is. You first part about being something, you gotta look the part. Second thing is, I see guys and they kind of, when I'm in the construction business, so there's a certain level of slack in my appearance that is acceptable. No, it's not. Okay. A lot of people in the construction business smoke cigarettes. That really offends a lot of people, especially guys with big beards. You can't smell it, but I can smell you from 30 feet away. Don't come up there smelling like a dead cigarette with stains all over your shirt, halfway untucked.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look like you're there to be serious.
Wow.
And another thing people get turned off a lot about: set an appointment and don't show up.
Oh man, that's an epidemic, right?